Can Zeke deke again? It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, no rain in the forecast. That's the good news, but it is a chilly December day here in the Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw is Wilson. Dancing to his left. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Here's the offense, and sometimes you got to show love to the big guys.
That you do, and we're talking about Jason Kelce now, not Travis, his brother who plays tight end. Jason lines up at center, a threat to go to the Pro Bowl each and every year.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. That one complete. Elliott. And right away, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission, that's their challenge, and you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now, win the game.
Flush to his right. It's caught by Jackson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Alert. 25. Single.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Steps away to his left. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
57
Play action. Now Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Go 14.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. Running with Elliott. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They go play action now. Wilson steps away. Look, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Julio Jones. Touchdown number 15 of the year. As his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
10 yards and a Seattle first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Freeman. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. 21 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown.
And they've already clinched the playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one.
That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Watson. And this is Cook with the ground. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Bailey's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Give them 22 yards, and that's also where they snapped it from, the 22. Here's Wilson to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
Let's go, baby.
That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Wilson. Being chased out left. And that'll be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 24.
14.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. He'll buy some time right. Open man, it's Vernon Davis. And they keep those sticks moving forward, that time with a gain of 3.
25.
On first down, Elliott. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz able to get the sack.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And Old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. We do know that they are postseason bound, but they're leaking a little oil, so to speak, as they kind of limp into January.
Yeah, and that oil can set fire to their season, can't it?
Look at that.
See what I did there? But here's the thing that we've both seen in the NFL. Teams down the stretch playing really well. Sometimes it doesn't carry over into the playoffs. Sometimes teams that aren't playing well now, if they have good leadership at the head coaching spot and the coaching staff and within the locker room, they can find a way to turn it around. But no one wants to be on a losing streak as they head into the playoffs.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
They'll run on first down. It's Elliott, and able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett.
Single receiver. Hey, 14.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Looking deep for Julio. And it's complete. In the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And once again, the 49ers are back out in front. Dawson tacks on the point after. And the lead is now 14-10. After the touchdown, it's Dawson on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Watson. Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Delano Hill. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. On first down, Elliott. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Pro Bowler C.J. Mosley, the Ravens' leading tackler last year, up to make the stop. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. To throw again on 2nd down, Hundley. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Throwing, Hundley.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Now Hundley. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start our tour out in the City of Angels, Los Angeles. And it's the Cardinals who have the lead as they play the second quarter. The Cardinals seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, let's get over to the Rockies to check out the Broncos at home in Denver. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. Drew Brees at it again, 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore and check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. Jameis Winston, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. His guys are out in front as we send you back up to the Pacific Northwest, where we rejoin Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The second quarter starts off with a bang as they snag over 30 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now a pass complete to Hogan.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. On the draw, this will be Freeman. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Hundley under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Cameron Hayward with sack number 23 on the year, breaking Michael Strahan's mark of 22.5. Congratulations. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go.
So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of...
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. He's got a man complete. That one good for 37 yards. That catch, number 750 of his NFL career, and it puts him even with not just one but 2 Hall of Famers, Michael Irvin and Charlie Joyner. So some pretty good company at 7'5".
Now you talk about the playmaker, Michael Irvin, and the guy who just made plays, Charlie Joyner. And that's what we're seeing here. Similar style in terms of being dependable, being open, and turning it into plays that you remember.
Again, it's Elliott. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Back now in Seattle, Washington. Now Wilson. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter play. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson, he'll try and run it. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now Elliott. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. This drive's taking more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. Eluding the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. After the touchdown, it's Dawson on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally. And here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early byes and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
Looking to throw again on second down. Hundley, and brought in by the tight end Cook. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. On play action, they'll throw. Going deep here for Stills. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Kenny Stills, his second touchdown on the season, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the fourth quarter.
But they certainly aren't afraid to dial up the long ball, and fans dig the long ball. And they absolutely needed it, and guess what? They got it. How about that?
And now a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Corey Liggett makes the stop. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. This is Elliott. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Here's Wilson. It's caught by Davis. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Well, a clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Wilson, complete to Jones. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Julio Jones, 35 yards. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. That'll be complete to Cook. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Throwing again on 2nd down. Hundley. And Stills bringing it in. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 32-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. And that's caught. It's Hogan. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Looking to throw. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. It's complete. Stills. So the victory here for San Francisco. And I know I'm not breaking any news when I say that any road win in this league is a good one.
No doubt.
But it's a double bonus when you get a victory on the road in your division.
And when you start a season, each team breaks down their schedule in different ways. Some do it every 4 games, right? Let's go quarterly. Others say, listen, we've got to take care of our home field. And, you know, out of a 16-game season, if you get 8 at home, let's at least win 7 at home and split our road games. That's what you're trying to get done. So here